Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope you have a wonderful birthday. I really hope that you have a wonderful solar return. Remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything, token tidbits of all of the stuff that you want for the next 12 months of your life. You got to let the universe know, come on big you, I want more of this. All right, so your key to the week this week is, okay, it's all going wrong. The Tree of Life. I love this card across all of my decks, right? And many of you know the High Priestess, the Fool, and the Magician kind of have my heart, right? But across all of my decks, this is my favorite. And the reason for that is because it represents divine intervention and assistance. Now, quick caveat about this, sometimes divine intervention and assistance looks like us not necessarily getting what we want. Remember, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. All right, now use that however you will. That being said, divine intervention is where the universe gives you a little nudge, gives you, or as we used to say when we were kids, gives you a little touch. When the universe gives you a little touch, right? That's to say, like, where you get a little something good, right? Something comes to you and it's a nice little touch. When you get a, the divine intervention, this can literally be where something stops, where something is called to your attention. That's also possible this week. In all of these different areas of life, I think you're going to get a little bit of everything. All right, with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what's going on for you. So for your actions and options this week, you got the Four of Cups. So there is going to be a divine intervention to snap you the fuck out of your funk, okay? Gemini, I love you, but this funk business just ain't gonna cut it. You now have Jupiter, the Lord of abundance and growth and happiness and levity in your sign. It's also the planet of protection and higher wisdom, knowledge and spirituality, interestingly enough, right? So the universe really is listening this week. And so you have to make sure that you are in the right frequency to be getting all of the things that you want. The Four of Cups can be where we are emotionally stagnant, where we're stuck in one specific sort of state of being. It can also be when it comes to the options that are available to you this week, there are surprises on the horizon for you that you just can't see yet, and so you have to get into this idea that the universe is bringing you good things, right? That there are things happening behind the scenes that you are not quite privy to just yet. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Knight of Swords. So you have this here, right, with the Four of Cups. This could be where you are choosing to feel a certain way and it's like you refuse to budge from it. And there might be a friend, a family member, it could be a partner if you have one, it could, all of the above, right? Maybe even a work colleague that kind of says something to you that really prickles and you think, who the fuck do you think you are, right? You might feel that. And yet, would it bother you if they were wrong? Right? There's something here that someone says to you this week that I think is going to snap you out of said funk, and you might kind of be like, oh, like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, and you might feel all of that, and yet the reason that you feel it is because they strike a chord. There's something that they say to you that really makes you kind of step back and say, actually, you know what, I need to acknowledge this, or I need to at least give it some thought away from the maddening crowd. When it comes to your those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this can be where maybe there has been a sustained amount of effort on your part and it just feels like you're just not getting it. Whatever the subject is, whatever the, maybe the grades, it might be that you think, no, hang on a sec, like I'm working really hard and I'm just not getting. And I've got to be honest with you, and it's rare to be able to say this to a Gemini, it's because you're refusing to think outside of the box. You might be thinking through your feelings about whatever it is that you're studying, and that's coming out in whatever you're producing in terms of your work. If that is the case, you're being challenged to change your mind, all right? For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this week, I do think it's going to get a little bit intense. And you might have some reservations, you might have some thoughts and feelings, we all do, right, about certain things that are unfolding in the workplace. And, you know, you might get really pissed off with some of the stuff that you see. The truth of the matter is, it's not for you to change unless, one, somebody else is thinking the same thing and beats you to the punch, or two, you're in a position to make the kind of change that you feel is needed. So if there are opportunities that open up for you this week to move into, a supervisory or a management position, this week you got to go for it, right? These are those top positions within a company. Those are really the only place that you can implement change, okay? When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, it's about to get busy, right, up in here. Like the Knight of Swords will speed up everything. It can speed up communication, it can speed up transactions, right? It can just make everything fast, everything busy, like it's going off, which is fantastic for you. I love that. The challenge that I think you have here is it might be faster or bigger than you anticipated, right? Jupiter's in your sign. You're going to have to learn to work with this energy one way or another. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, this looks like an ongoing feud of some sort within the familial ties, and it may be because you disagree with either how somebody is raising their children or maybe how your children are behaving. It could also be, and I say this as well, right, especially for those of you that have children who have children, right? So for those of you that are like grandparents and stuff, or at least, step grandparents, or do you know what I mean? Like whatever the case might be. Or step parents who have, right? There's something here where it's like you disagree with the parenting style and it's been causing a bit of a problem or an issue. Be interesting to see how that one shapes up. For your love and relations, you have the Moon card. So if you are, even if you're not single, to be fair, it's the Moon. Excuse me. Okay, energy shift. So the Moon card for me is always the past. This is you really ruminating your feelings, thinking back over a connection that you once had. Maybe for some of you, if you are partnered, so if you're partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, the relationship that you're currently in, maybe you're thinking back to the honeymoon and you're like, why can't it be like that again? Or maybe you're thinking back to a time where maybe one of you's not working at the moment and you're thinking, it's really hard. I feel like all the pressure's on me financially. Whatever the case might be, there's a longing here for a time previous, right? Which I get to a degree, but you are where you are now. You need to think about how you create a plan to move forward with your significant other. For those of you that are single and looking, you could connect with, you could connect with, reconnect with, meet with a previous partner. You've got the Tree of Life here, which means that there's a divine intervention or some kind of assistance here. Because you've got the Knight of Swords, it's possible, if you are running into an ex or something along those lines, it could be a very heated discussion, right? And to be honest, maybe that's what you need, right? Maybe this is that final sort of like rah that you need in order to move forward, or maybe it's the blowout that you need in order to make the relationship work, right? Whatever the case might be, this week it all comes to a head. When before we get into your money and materials, the lunar lacuna is open, manifesting with the moon, energy work, PDFs, all of that good stuff that Raf likes, astrology, tarot, numerology. If you would like to get into all of this and see how it can really enhance your life, there are links in the description box below that will show you how to do that. It would be my pleasure to have you, and you'll be joining me for a year. Remember, this is a rolling thing, so you can join when you want, you can leave when you want, right? You're not locked in for the rest of your life. For your money and materials, you have the 9 of Cups. Look at that, right? You better get this money, honey. Love it. So you got the Moon card. Sorry, not the Moon card. You've got the 9 of Cups with the Tree of Life. This is like one of the highest or greatest sort of combinations that you can have, right? This is when it comes to money, the 9 of Cups is fantastic because the money that you have wished for, the money that you need, the money that you require is on its way in, right? It shows up. It certainly starts to show up from this point onwards. You've got this with the Tree of Life, so it's almost like the money that you've been waiting for, money that you've expected, money that you've needed, money that you've been working on, bringing in or manifesting, etc. it's like it falls into your lap this week, right? It's easy. Now, when I say that, you will still have to work for it, right? And the work that you have to do this week is to get out of, you got to get out of manifesting mode and into receptive mode, right? And this is one thing that a lot of people, excuse me, whew, so much energy shifting in this one. Okay, this is one of the things that people don't get, and it's actually one of the things that I'll be talking about as part of the Lunar Lacuna. So if you want to know more about that, you know what to do. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is a fantastic card because it literally represents healing. You've got this with the Tree of Life. This is like total healing from a body, soul, mind, body, spirit kind of sort of healing energy that takes place. In particular, your feet. If you had problems or issues with your feet and your ankles, this is a great week to get that stuff sorted, especially because of what the feet represent spiritually. All right. Now, when it comes to your home and environment, the Nine of Cups is good news around a living situation that I think is going to make a lot of you really smile, right? If you particularly love where you are at this moment in time, it looks like you'll be staying. If you are ready to be moving onwards, it looks like you will be going. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.